A warm welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Before we get started, do not forget to subscribe. Okay, we're started. So, rinseless washes. Here we have the Labocosmetica Idrosave, which was a rinseless wash that you can mix out at around 1 to 200 with this product in a bucket and contact wash your car and wipe it dry. So no free rinsing water. So if you've got water restrictions and all that stuff, or you just want to do it with less water, it's another way of cleaning your car. They're generally less foamy types of material or surfactants or polymer rinseless wash as this one's advertised at. Now, in our best rinseless wash video of 2024, I think this came in the mid order somewhere. But it's different to the rest of the rinseless washes because of it's infused with this nano sealant. And this one had a noticeable, durable, hydrophobic effect. So it's laying down some protective material which sort of bonds and sticks around and beads. Okay, and that's why I'm coming back to it in this particular video. Now, this litre of Labocosmetica Idrosave costs around £26, which put it somewhere in the mid-order of what these products typically cost. The one that won the competition and the one that I'm probably going to now go and buy, going forward, is the Koch Chemie Rapid Rinseless Wash, which costs a fantastic £12.95 in the UK, which is really good value. This leaves some material, but it's not like durable bonding material. It's just like a little kind of sort of, shine, wipe and shine type thing, but it will come off the car. Now, the reason this is really important is if you're prepping a car with a rinseless wash or using a rinseless wash as a clay lube, you don't want to be leaving bonded material behind when you're prepping. You're trying to strip back to prepare and decontaminate and polish, so you don't want to add material. So that's why I think for a lot of people, they just want what we call a pure rinseless wash that you could just wipe stuff with no implications. However, the main reason I'm coming back to this Idrosave is its use. As advertised on the back of the bottle in this very small writing, see it says dry with a soft monitor. There's a tip, it says tip somewhere here. For maximum shine and colour intensity, use with a spray dispenser, a dilution ratio of 1 to 50 as if it were a quick detailer. 1 to 50. 1 to 50 is a quick detailer. So in other words, 10 mil of this product, which I have down here, to 500 mil of water is the same as 1 to 50 if you knock a naught off each side. So how much does 10 mil of this product cost us if that's 26 quid? Well, it's going to cost us 26p, isn't it? Because 100 mil would be £2.60. Yeah, 26p. So in other words, we can mix up a bottle of this, and this is just normal tap water in here. So let's put this in. We can make a bottle of quick detailer that's the equivalent of some of the quick detailers over here, and those quick detailers can cost 15, 16, 17, 18, 90 pounds for 500 mil. There's some in there £19 for 100 mil, some in there £60 for 250 mil, so they can be incredibly expensive. The question is, can this actually function as a quick detailer? Can it really give us a little bit of protective performance, because I noticed this one had a beading effect, this product, and it also seemed to mask the fine abrasive slurry that we put onto the panel as well. So the protective elements probably do a bit of filling, maybe, any material that's left behind may well fill. But it also makes me think, if this can function as a quick detailer and it's only 10 mil of active ingredients to 500 mil, that's roughly at 1 to 50, that's roughly, I know it's just slightly more, but it's 2% of active ingredients in the product, and the rest of it's water. How much of that is already water as well? So it just makes my brain start thinking about, you can actually pay 26p to have a bottle of detail spray, and that's retail. So yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it? What is the difference? Well, let's just go and try this out. So forgive the wind noise. So over here, we have our fabled test panel, and on this side of it, it's pretty flat. You can see it might just break through slowly, but it very slowly. This side's got a bit more protective stuff on it. It's got the fan lab on it, so that's still repelling away, which is pretty impressive. So what we've got there is just a wet panel. Let's just have a look at what this quick detailer can do. I just want to use it perhaps, do we want to use it as a drying aid, or do we want to use it on a dry panel? Let's just spray this on, yeah? So we're giving it a good shake. Let's just spray it on. And we'll put, you know, when I'm doing this as a drying aid, I'll just tend to put quite a lot on. It's low concentration, so we shouldn't have kind of streaking issues. So we've put quite a lot of product there, but are we worried too much? And what we'll do is we'll just dry this panel off now. So this is the classic drying aid function. There's a few little water spots on there from before. It does feel quite slidey. That towel cloth's wet, so let's just make sure. Just want to make sure we've got a bone dry panel now. Just interesting to see what that's going to do to that panel. Panel, once this starts to dry, it does start to feel nicer. Quite slick actually. Decent. Considering there's not much in there. So what's that done to that side of the panel that had no real repellency and that side that was loaded? Let's have a look. It's done a good job. This side is now rapid. Wow, that's quite impressive actually. That is pretty impressive. Didn't think it would, with that sort of concentration. I didn't think with that sort of concentration, at 2% concentration. So we're 98% water in that product. And we've sprayed it onto a wet panel so it gets knocked down even more and just wipe the panel dry. It's been able to have a really good hydrophobic effect to the panel at that concentration. So there must be cationic material in there, but it just goes to show, doesn't it, that if we can pay 26p and get something like this, this is the whole reason for me coming back and looking at this again. Because almost with our quick detailers, there's almost like two camps, almost. There's one camp that just like, tell me which one's the best and I'll go and buy it, and I'll really love it. And, you know, I don't really care how much it costs too much. It's just, I like buying these things and I like trying them. And if it's good, it's good. Just tell me which one you think's the best. And I think I know what that is. But there's lots of really potent ones which will kind of, you know, really impress you and anyone could like. When we go down to that other end of the scale where people say to me, a quick detailer is just a tool, which is something you've heard me say before on the panel, just say, you know, you're doing a final wipe down, maybe you put some quick detailer on just to make sure, get any water off there. If there's a bit of dust on your car, fingerprint on the car, there was one on the Black Peril the other day, Dan, you spray a bit of detailer on and just gently wipe it off. It's just to get you to that final finish, a quick detailer, and it's meant to be a little bit kind of lubricant, a little gloss. You know, gloss lube is a good way to describe a quick detailer. If you want to use them as clay lubes, you know, a quick detailer can do that. I like to spray them on door cards and bits of trim and stuff to tidy stuff up. It's nice when you could also use them on glass. You know, versatility, I think, is important with a detailer. But when you go down that road of just wanting this multi-purpose spray lube, almost, you know, then you're less fussy about buying a detailer that's ready mixed out, and you're really probably going to slot more into that category of guy that just wants a tool for the best price. Suddenly this Idrosave becomes really viable, and in fact, from talking to you guys and listening to the comments, really, yes, like a rinseless wash as a quick detailer is good. The downside is, if you take a traditional rinseless wash like this, you don't really, and you wipe over the car, or you use it as a drying aid, you don't really get any of that protective boost or anything like that. And I think you can see from the big companies what they're offering, like your Maguires and stuff like that. They offer that hydrophobicity and stuff, so that when people use their products, they can notice a bit more going on, a bit more performance. So if you go mega budget with a product like that, you won't get that boost to protection when you're using it. And I think a lot of people want that. So that's the thing you've got to ask yourself. But historically, we kind of went down the line of saying, well, you could just use a rinseless wash. You know, you don't trust the protection underneath, use the rinseless wash and clean it. And indeed, with the quick detailer that I use, which is over here, which is the Built Hamber one, which in my head was always the best proposition. You can see, where am I in this? I know I'm down here somewhere. I'm about 2.5 litres, and I'll get through that. You know, I'll get through that. I mix it down, a bottle that costs $16.99. I mix it 1 to 9. It gives me 5 litres of product. So therefore, 500 ml of that product is £1.65, which I always thought was great value. But 500 ml of this Idrosave is 26p, which is a hell of a lot cheaper than the Built Hamber QD. But also this Idrosave does top up your protection. So really, this channel is looking for things like this that just give you absolutely stonking value. So that product, it was just sitting in my box of all the stuff that I give away in monthly contests, and I thought, I'd been recommending this, saying to people, well, if you want like you know, like some protective stuff in a rinseless, check this one out. Go and check this one out. And I hadn't really given it enough time of day outside of my initial rinseless video, and just watching what it's done to that panel, it's a good quick detailer. It's an incredible quick detailer, considering you're only using 10 ml in your 500 ml bottle. That's incredible. If I'm just going to tighten that up a bit so it's misting a bit more. There we go. I just want to have a look and see if I can just get away with using it on my dusty car. You can maybe just see little dots and dusts on there, but it's pretty clean. And I don't like doing this, and I'm only doing this because I'm going to be mega careful. But if I just mist some of this rinseless on, and then we take this cloth here, I'm going to be so light-handed with this. I just want to see what happens. It's wet, and this cloth's wet, but I'm just almost dusting down that panel, which is how you could do it. Even this I don't like doing, especially once that paint's good, but there's also a good amount of protection on there. Yeah, and it seems really good. So what I'm feeling is probably a combination of the protection underneath and the really nice smooth clear coat. But this is going straight on top of it. It's incredibly easy to dry off if you just mist a bit off. And what I've just done, I know, is going to boost hydrophobicity. And again, I'm going back to the main point of this video, 26p to mix down a bottle. I don't think I've found, or I don't know of a product you could mix down at that usage ratio that will give you that, you know, that's designed to also be a quick detailer as part of its function. I'm thinking you could take something like Autoglym Polar Seal and take 10 ml of that. But that's really not designed to be a quick detail, and you're going off piste. It probably still won't be as cheap as that, or if it is, we're getting to the point where price is just non-negligible. So I think this Idrosave, to me, you should, You know, we try and tell you about things that you should be aware of, because they can, it's not often they can save you money, is it? It's not often they can save you money, but that could save you an absolute packet. And even a professional detailer that's going out and buying 5 litres of ready-made detailer spray that haven't got to mix down, even they would look at that and say, well, okay, so if 500 mil cost me 26p, then to mix out 5 litres would cost me, times 10, would it? £2.60. So you can have a bulk price of 5 litres at £2.60. Nothing's going to get near that. Nothing's going to get near that, is it? Well, that's it. I've got nothing else to say. It's a brilliant product. That's going on the shelf, and I'm going to use that. Maybe the problem with this is that can make me so much detail spray that I won't be, that will keep me going for years. How much could a litre make you? A litre, oh God. How much could a litre of that make you at 1 to 50? It'd be 50 litres, wouldn't it? So that could make you 50 litres of detail spray. And that would last a lifetime for guys at home. Yeah, so there you go, guys. You need to check this out. What could you do? You could also perhaps try mixing it at 3 or 4% PIR, where it's going to get really juicy. You're going off piste. But I reckon my gut instinct was it could be fine. You could also mix it with DI water if you're going to pre-mix and store it, you know, in a jerry can or something. Because I think DI water will just help give you a better experience. But it seemed to work fine with just tap water. Yeah, love it. That is what it's all about, guys. So some of you will already just look at this and say, yeah, I know I've been using rinseless washes as quick detailers for ages, but the key point is that will actually give you a boost to hydrophobic performance and protection beyond what some of those other rinseless washes can do. What you've got to decide is, do you want a rinseless wash that adds protection? If the answer's no, then that's not for you. But then you ask the question, do you want the availability of a very cheap detailer spray at 26p to mix up a 500ml bottle that will boost protection you could use as a drying aid, even if it's not your dedicated rinseless? So you could end up maybe with 2 rinselesses, I think, which is probably what I'll have. I've kept that Gel one as well, just for when I run out of that, so I might as well use it rather than go and spend more money. But I think I would definitely, now seeing what I've seen, not get rid of that product. That will sit there, and that will make a really good useful product to me, because that will save me an absolute arm and a leg. The question I've got is though, should I replace, is it better than the Built Amber, which also, Built Amber isn't, you can use it as a rinseless, but at like 1 to 20, so it's not like built the same way as these other rinselesses that are designed to be used at 1 to 256. Built Amber leans towards more being a versatile, concentrated detail spray that you can even go up to 1 to 1 with, and gives you that darkness and that thing, but it will never give you good protection. So we've got some differences in what these products are offering you, and it's not often you hear me say with the Built Amber concentrate that it's beaten on value, and that was one of the reasons I have it. But it's really, really beaten on value. And I'm really surprised actually that can actually add a good level of hydrophobicity at that ratio. I would have thought you'd have needed, you know, not 10 mil in that bottle, but maybe 30 or 40 mil before it started getting to the point where it was juicy and it could do stuff. So that's pretty impressive. And I'm not often impressed. So put your thoughts in there, guys. I like things that offer me value, because more often than not I see too many examples of things where I look at it and I think, I know what the chemical cost of that is, I know what this is, that product is giving me no value. You know what I'm like, I'm an old cynic. I know the industry too well, I know a little bit about the chemical cost side of it, and I just think, I'm never going to buy that, it's not giving me any value, and there's millions of them on the market. This is good. Get excited. If I'm excited, you should be. Very good product. Gives you value. Red Bull. Don't say I've just ruined the video, but Red Boss can say Idrosave gives you wings. Doug.